Hey everybody, I'm Video Game Explain, and today we are taking a look at Spellz, which was developed by Tom Medina. There was a big update to the game a few days ago, so let's take a closer look at the spellcasting, boss fighting, roguelike adventure. Let's start with the premise of the game. As a wizard, you're fighting through a castle and attempting to defeat the resident evil. At first, you only know the simplest spell, but as you progress through the game, you'll pick up new spells and powers to elevate your combat abilities. Enemies can be tough and will respawn in areas after a while, so it's important to keep moving, deal with combatants quickly, and progress as far as possible in the dungeon during each run. This keeps the pace up while playing spells, and it makes it much more tense and enjoyable. Just look at this guy, he's loving it. We start off in the so-called Pig Butcher's dungeon and learn our first spell. Using this, we can electrocute enemies from far away, which isn't as convenient as it sounds, as these fast little scampers will swarm you if you don't kill them quickly, and these mage people will blast you if you don't aim and fire fast enough. So you'll have to run around and evade enemies while trying to cast your ranged spell. We haven't learned how to heal, dodge, or attack in any other way yet, so we'll just have to stick with blasting people with lightning for now. Try not to get too frustrated from dying because it'll happen a lot, especially early on. Luckily, the cores that we collect after each kill aren't lost after we die, and they can be used as currency to buy some new spells at the shop, though you'll have to find all the other spells and abilities throughout the dungeon. Also, significant milestones are saved between runs, so you don't have to relearn spells or find keys to unlock the same doors again. Honestly, this was the bigger reason why I stuck out this game. If I had to start from scratch on every run, I would definitely lose my mind. The soundtrack on the game is on a loop, but it has been created with care and context to spells, so I don't mind listening to it again and again as I try in vain to lightning strike a fire mage before they turn me to dust. After defeating a horde of scampers, mages, and knights in different areas of the dungeon, we pick up some new abilities, like a fireball and a healing spell, a deflection shield, and the ability to dodge. Using what we've learned, and from what we bought in the store, we can try to take down the previously mentioned Pig Butcher. If you're like me and you neglect to explore the dungeon fully and learn the incredibly valuable dodge ability, then you'll be stuck here for a while, as his most destructive attack can only be avoided by, spoilers, the dodge ability. Either way, with enough fireballs, heals, and patience, you can take down the Pig Butcher. By the end of the first dungeon, you've pretty much collected or can afford to buy all the spells and abilities. In addition to what I mentioned before, we now have some more powerful ranged spells, like a rain of shurikens and a head popper ability that'll make you feel like Victoria Newman from The Boys. We're now well equipped to move on to the second dungeon and most recent addition to the game. What impresses me about this game is that it would have been so easy to simply reskin the enemies from the first dungeon and then throw in a couple of simple decorations to lazily differentiate the two levels. Instead, Tom gives us a whole new dungeon with all new enemies and all new power-ups that need to be picked up, and you'll need them because this dungeon is considerably harder than the first. In the Den of Aosoth, a demon has taken over the minds of some beefy dwarves with a slew of combat abilities. Some of them cast a well-tracked beam of energy, causing you to run for cover, only to be ambushed by some alchemically minded enemies with explosive flasks. Throw in some standard sword and shield types, and you've got a great recipe for dynamic combat. The task that will suck up most of your time in this dungeon is trying to defeat Aosoth, as they will not stop summoning dwarves and little lava monsters, shooting giant beams, and teleporting in and out of existence. I found that using ranged spells for the minions and spamming the head popper attack on the boss worked the best, but this also took me over 10 tries, so take my advice with a grain of salt. After popping Aosoth's head like a balloon, we take a lift to the final part of the dungeon, where we deal with a final onslaught of enemies. Though, at this point, we're fully decked out with spells and abilities, and our foes can easily be led into narrow passageways, so our area of effect attacks make quick work of the dwarves. Finally, we find a large teleportation ball, which transports us to this screen, letting us know that the demo is over. Looking at the proposed map tree and perusing the Spellz Discord server, it looks like a larger world is in development, so be sure to follow Tom on itch.io to keep up with the game's development. I'm even more impressed impressed by this game because Tom is only 17 and has been working on this game for the past 2 years. I'm excited to see where Spellz goes and anything else Tom has in store for us. But that's it for today. If you liked the video, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and if you want to keep up with more content like this, feel free to subscribe as well. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all next time.